Councillor Brindle.
Present.
Councillor English.
Present.
Councillor Harwood.
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Kimantz.
Present.
Councillor Mumford.
Present.
Councillor Parfitt-Reid.
Present.
Councillor Perry.
Present.
Councillor Spooner.
Present.
Councillor Vizard.
Present.
That's the register. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Right. Councillors Harwood and Mumford, would you please reprise your reasons for deferral?
Yes, we are. If I start with my half and perhaps Councillor Mumford come in with his. Essentially, we want to revisit the layout of the proposed accommodation and landscaping on the site to enable better landscaping of the pond and woodland area immediately adjacent to the site, and that is to enable ecological and flood amelioration. And then, Steve, do you want to come in on your?
Yeah, and I seconded that with the addition that understanding the Environment Agency have got COVID, etc., and a high workload, I want to see a specific report from the Environment Agency for this site and not have to rely on standard advice.
Thank you. Right, that's perfectly clear. And we'll take the vote on that again as we lost last. Miss Park.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillor Atkinson.
4.
Councillor Brindle.
4.
Councillor English.
4.
Councillor Harwood.
4.
Councillor Kimantz.
4.
Councillor Mumford.
4.
Councillor Parfitt-Reid.
4.
Councillor Perry.
4.
Councillor Spooner.
4.
Councillor Vizard.
4.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Chairman, just to add to that, could I just, I will obviously when it comes back include the additional conditions that the officer requested. I also suggested related to foul drainage, etc., and those matters raised about the bug hotels and the bin store provision. So when it comes back, it will have all those included.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we add to that the back tube potentially within the wooden buildings.
Thank you.
All noted.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bailey. Very helpful. Can I have the actual voting figure, please, Mrs. Snoot?
10 for, none against, no abstentions.
Thank you. Right. The next application doesn't have any speakers on listed, and I'm assured by the local member that this is acceptable to him and to the parish council. So does anyone wish this introduced? In that case, I'll move the recommendation.
I'll second.
All those in favour?
Can we take a vote, please, Chairman?
Yep.
Chair, it may be helpful to refer to the application by name, because you're out of order on the agenda.
No, we're not out of order on the agenda. We are absolutely in order on the agenda, but we will actually, in terms of the running order anyway. But this is land to the west of 17 Church Street, Bolton, Monchelsea. Although I would therefore take a vote on this, as no one wishes to speak on the application.
Thank you.
On the recommendation, that is, please, Miss Peake.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillor Atkinson.
4.
Councillor Brindle.
4.
Councillor English.
4.
Councillor Harwood.
4.
Councillor Kimantz.
4.
Councillor Mumford.
4.
Councillor Parfitt-Reid.
4.
Councillor Perry.
4.
Councillor Spooner.
4.
Councillor Vizard.
4.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. That is agreed. What was the vote, Mrs. Snoot, just to be on the clarity?
10 for, none against and no abstentions.
Thank you. Move on to the next application, which is 17 Ashurst Road, Maidstone, which is actually a tree preservation order application. Does anyone wish to speak to this?
Sorry, Chairman. Which one is this? Is this the Ashurst?
This is Ashurst, yes. I'll give you a moment to catch up.
Yeah, sorry. With the Ashurst Close one, if that's the one where it's proposed that the dead hawthorn is removed, is that correct? Because there's two very close.
Fell One Hawthorn is Blendon Road.
It's Blendon, okay then. So yeah, I'm okay with this one.
Chairman, could I suggest, as these are MBC applications, technically speaking, I'm led to believe that's what they are. They may have to have a very, very quick presentation.
Yeah, I am going to have an introduction, although I just wanted to know whether anyone was minded to debate them. And so
Sorry, Chairman.
Because if they were, we would have to go to a rather fuller presentation. We will have have the officer please to just briefly introduce 17 Ashurst Road.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. Good evening, members. Hopefully, you will be able to see my screen.
Yes, thank you, Nick.
So this is item 15 on the papers, page 100, described as front of 17 Ashurst Road. It's an application for works to 3 protected trees in the Ashurst Road play area, which is a Maidstone Borough Council owned public open space. So the application is before members because the applicant is the Maidstone Borough Council Parks team. If I move to first slide, this is a group of picture of the group of 3 trees. T1 is actually hidden behind this smaller tree in the foreground. It's the cherry in the back there, just this side of the conifer trees. The Acer tree is the multi-stemmed one in the centre, and T3, the other cherry, is the one on the right. So the group are grown in front of that row of terrace properties, which are 9 to 19 Ashurst Road, and have branches that overhang the small front gardens of those properties. The proposed works are a reduction of the growth on that side, on the property side, and to do a crown clean on all 3 trees. Crown cleaning being the removal of dead, damaged, diseased wood. So if I move to slide of that's T1 cherry. It's approximately 16 metre high, mature cherry tree. T2 sycamore is that multi-stemmed one there. It's probably the largest of the 3 trees, approximately 18 metres height. And T3, I haven't actually got a slide of. It seems to have been missed off, but it's the one on the right of that first photo. All 3 trees are in reasonably good health and condition. The proposed reduction and crown cleaning works are not considered to be inappropriate management, are unlikely to have a detrimental impact on the long-term health of the trees. So it's recommended that consent is granted subject to a condition requiring the works are carried out to British standard. Thank you.
Thank you. Any members wishing to comment? No, in that case, I'll move the recommendation. Is that seconded?
I'll second it.
Clive.
Thank you very much. And if we could take the vote, please, Ms. Park.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillor Atkinson?
4.
Councillor Brindle?
4.
Councillor English?
4.
Councillor Harwood?
4.
Councillor Clearmans?
4.
Councillor Mumford?
4.
Councillor Parfitt-Reed?
4.
Councillor Perry?
4.
Councillor Spooner?
4.
And Councillor Vizard?
4.
Thank you,
very
Chairman.
much. And the voting figures, please, Mrs. Snoot.
Sorry, you got mouse trouble. 10 in favour, none against and no abstentions. Thank you.
Thank you. We move on to perhaps slightly more controversial territory with Blendon Road. I will ask the officer to introduce this one.
Thank you again. Item 16, page 105 of the papers. This one's described as rear of 11 Blendon Road. It's actually another application in the Ashurst Road play area, public open space, just on the other side. It's again in front of members because it's a council's parks team application. It's again includes works to 3 trees, but in actual fact, the proposed removal of T2 hawthorn, which is a dead tree, can actually be felled under the exceptions to the tree preservation regulations with a duty to plant replacement tree. So it therefore doesn't actually need to have been included on the application, and therefore is not really under consideration as part of the application. But I feel that Mr. Harwood wants to make some comments on that. Similarly, T3 on the application, which is a sycamore tree, they're proposing to do some pruning works to clear away from garages, is not subject to the tree preservation order. So again, the works proposed to it are not for consideration as part of this application because the consent of the local planning authority isn't required to carry them out. So that leaves just the works proposed to tree T1 walnut, which hopefully you can see in this picture here. It's a mature walnut tree, and you can see from the crown structure that it has been reduced in the past on approximately this kind of line, if you can see where my mouse is moving. You can also see on this picture, and I'll move to a close-up in a minute, that it's got a large main stem wound from approximately half height up to the crown break area. There's the close-up of that. You can see it's quite significantly decayed inside. The proposal is to reduce the crown again to approximately the same size as the previous reduction. Because of that, it's considered that the proposed reduction is necessary to reduce the risk of catastrophic failure of the tree, and the recommendation is therefore to permit the works on the grounds that they're appropriate management. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Harwood, I'm sure this is the one you indicated you did have an issue with.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's probably worth just giving some kind of background that this area prior to the building of the new housing, well, it's 30 years old, but the housing estate, well, 50 years old now, the housing estate on this site, this was, I mean, it was absolutely idyllic. It was like beautiful ancient old parkland with big spreading growth, parkland trees and so on. And then the estate was built. And gradually, all those trees have been lost. The big walnuts throughout the estate, a lot of the trees. And there's a little bit of a kind of ghost of the old Vintners Park in this Ashurst play area. What I was concerned about is that where the hawthorn was going to be felled, we were just saying one little hawthorn to go in. When a number of us were involved in the ecological emergency action plan, and what we were promoting very much there was a kind of 3-for-1 replacement, particularly on publicly owned land. And I was just looking at, Cornwall are now talking about having a kind of a 15% tree cover in all their sites that come forward. So what I was going to recommend, because we're not really replacing light for light, we're replacing a very tiny tree for a bigger, older tree, is could we seek 3 hawthorns as a replacement? And the other thing is, could the cordwood of that hawthorn, which is riddled with lesser stag beetle holes at the moment because it's been dead for a while, could that trunk, when it's felled, not be chipped as it would be ordinarily, but moved into one of our local open spaces, somewhere like Upper Fulling-Pitts Wood, or there's lots of semi-natural open spaces all around this play area that Maidstone Borough Council own and maintain. So, I mean, perhaps we wouldn't demand this on a private applicant in the same way, but I think because it's Maidstone Borough Council, we've made certain commitments. We ought to seek that 3-for-1 replacement and retain the cordwood in a nearby open space, such as Upper Fulling-Pitts Wood.
Well, Mr. Gallivan or Mr. Bailey, do you have any view on that?
Yeah, I'm happy to come back on that. Firstly, I don't think we can actually condition that because the removal of the hawthorn could be undertaken under the exceptions, and therefore we're not directly considering a proposal to remove it. So it would be unreasonable to condition it, but I can certainly take it up with the Parks team and encourage it, and we can add it on to the decision as an informative.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If we're making it informative because of it's one of our own applications, and there was one other little thing in the hollow in the Warner. Is that being damaged in any way? Because I suppose there's an issue around roosting or hibernating bats.
No, it's not. It's been left intact. The reduction is quite a light one. It's back to the previous reduction point. If I can go back to my picture of it, there is the reduction is going to be up here. And the wound is down here, so it's well clear of it. There's no works proposed anywhere near that. And just to pick up on the Corbett point again, that can be added in as an informative.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'll second that. Those informatives are added. Any further comments from members or officers? None. In that case, then I will put the amended recommendation with those two informatives to the vote. Miss Park?
Thank you, Chairman.
Can I just confirm who seconded that?
I did.
You did. And who proposed that?
Councillor Harwood.
Okay, thank you.
Right, Miss Park, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillor Atkinson.
4.
Councillor Brindle.
4.
Councillor English.
4.
Councillor Harwood.
4.
Councillor Kimmants.
4.
Councillor Mumford.
4.
Councillor Parfitt-Reed.
4.
Councillor Perry.
4.
4.
Councillor Spooner.
4.
And Councillor Vizard.
4.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Right, that amended recommendation is passed. Can I have the voting figures, please, though, Mrs. Snook?
That was 10 in favour, none against, no abstentions.
Thank you. That just brings us to the last item of the calendar year, appeal decisions. Any comments, Mr. Bailey, or any other officers?
No, thank you, Chairman. I think they're all self-explanatory on the pages. Obviously happy to take any questions if members have got any questions.
Any questions, members? No, I take that as a no. Well, once again, a pretty good performance by everyone concerned. We're doing reasonably well on appeals. Touch wood. Members, officers, this has been a difficult year for this council and for everyone. We've been adopting different practices. Some we might stick with when circumstances improve. May I thank everyone, parish councils, officers, members, for their involvement and how hard they've worked in difficult circumstances throughout this calendar year. I hope you all enjoy a well-deserved Christmas break when we arrive at it shortly in New Year, and see you in 2021, and hopefully things for this country and everyone else will improve. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Clive, and good night.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you, Clive.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Happy Christmas.